Force changes. All of us undergo for at least changes, uh, either good or bad in our entire lives. It's normal to change, but forced changes usually happen to people who are, you know, bad or suffering. We need people like us need to force ourselves to change, or other people will force us to change, usually for the better. These types of change, these types of changes usually aren't bad, but takes out a lot of effort to actually move on or proceed with the change. And yeah, a lot of effort is needed. So why am I talking about this? It's because even after I, changed and gotten better in terms of general shit or whatever, but it's right now, this moment, it's not looking good. It's not really great at all. Ever since the situation with, you know, my coach, things have just been kind of downhill ever since. So few months ago, actually it's already 2 years, I've come to realize that my life is pretty bad. It was in a pretty bad state. So that's why I decided to help myself, and I decided to force myself to change. And it did work. I've made myself more determined, and I had goals in mind. I have actual will to live. But now I feel like I'm stepping back and back and back, and I feel like I'm relapsing from what I originally was trying to be. So, anyways, before we actually start, I wanna just tell you, whoever, it's Sunday and I have school tomorrow. So I usually do not make videos like in this late of an hour when I have school, but I feel like I need to at least talk about this. It's just been on my mind for too long, and I have to like brain dump a bit. And I also do have notes, not much, but then whatever I thought that I wanted to say today, I just typed it down. But I know there's definitely more that I want to say, but I just cannot think of it at the moment. So that'll be for next time. Anyways, uh, onto the main thing. Not really main thing. Yeah, it's been a bit rough for a while, cause uh right now I just finished my MSSD, which is like basketball, and it didn't go well. Uh, I realized that I'm really shit in terms of studying the sports that I'm supposed to be good at, and some other minor stuff. So I also just gotten my report card, and it's really bad. Yeah, for the second term, I really didn't do well at all, and I feel like I'm on track to failing, which is really bad. And for sports, like my karate, which I've been training for 9 years, 10 years, 9 years. Uh, I have a lot more to learn, and I feel like it's fucking tiring. I do not have the time to do so. For basketball, uh, however much I've been training, it's all kind of gone to waste. There's not really any point. It feels like there's no point of training because there's so many people out there that's so much better than me. And it's just, even though I say to not compare myself, but then I feel like what I'm not good in anything particular, you know. In everything, every aspect of my life, there's just people that's so much better than me. It's not just a few, it's quite a lot. Which is why it's very fucking demotivating to do anything now, cause there's always somebody better, and it's not that uncommon to see them. And yeah, anyways, so what I'm going through in terms of like stepping back, which is ever since 2 years ago, actually growing up, like before this, before whatever trauma bullshit I've experienced. Growing up, I had a normal childhood. Alright, my childhood was actually pretty decent. I had fun. I had laughs. I had friends. I had you know pretty standard childhood until the incident during the pandemic, which is around 4 years ago. It's 2025, 5 years actually. Around 4 5 years ago, that caused me to be the way I am, which is like ever since when I was Form 1, when I reached to this school, I'm quiet, very isolated due to some really bad stuff that I've went through. And it's not good because I may have gotten better in terms of the forced change I was talking about, but all this feeling, it's starting to come back. The lingering feeling of like fear, anxiety, a lot of stress, it's coming back. And it's how do I say, one thing that I've after going through all this like bullshit for the last 4 years, one thing that I fear the most is isolation. And I feel very isolated right now. Even though I have friends, heck, I have a girlfriend. But isolated in the sense of my skills, you know? Like, how would I say? It's not as bad as last time where I was in peak depression. But it's like I'm isolated in everyone's better than me. Everyone's progressing much faster, much quicker, and I feel like I'm being left behind, and I'm not being the best I could be. Not the best I could be, but then I just don't feel like I belong at where I'm at right now. You know, I feel like I'm falling behind by a lot compared to my classmates, my teammates in sports. My skills, or my cooking, or like my karate, my swimming. I'm like, it's the shit that I literally grew up doing training for, and I'm falling behind. So what what now? I do not know. Uh 2 days ago, I made uh what's that called, another vow to myself, which is my improve my studies mainly. I literally stamped my dog shit report card on the board right here, and it's just a reminder to at least try, cause it's just really hard right now. How would I study, which is like all the tips and tricks that I've been thinking, saving, and doing for the past year, ever since last year. I need to use it all up now because I don't even, I kind of used up all the tricks on my sleeves, and there's like nothing else left for me to do except actually do the things. So yeah, anyways, on to Mr. Brandon. A few days ago, an update which is he literally just denied all allegations, which is actually just complete bullshit. I am kind of glad that he denied everything, even though it makes it harder. But then he's straight up lying. He is. So when they find out that he's just lying, he's cooked. All right, fuck him. And in terms of basketball, yeah, it's also not good. The we lost during MSSD, and I don't think we ever had a chance. But yeah, we lost quite badly. My workout goals and stuff. It's all also on hold, just because I didn't feel like it. Even though I used the excuse of being like, oh, I have training, I have MSSD, I do not need to do this. But truthfully, it's just because I'm getting extra lazy. And how would I discipline myself after all this? I feel like the only way is just force myself. Because you see, it's gotten to the point where at least I'm not too bad. I'm not falling behind as bad as I would think I would be right now. Cause today I had a pretty okay day. At least at least I didn't like watch, what's that called? Just watch YouTube all day and just kill time. But I did spend at least 1 to 2 hours max studying a bit. So congrats on that. But I've calculated, and I only have 1,000 hours of studying time total. 6 hours, around 600 is like free time for me to study. And I have 4 months to prove myself. 4 months, actually 3.5, which is 100 days. I have 100 days to prove myself wrong, that I can do this, and I'm not relapsing anymore, and not letting anything else affect me, not feeling like ass anymore, not constantly feeling degrading and everyone's above, or like I'm falling behind as much. Yeah, I have 100 days, and it does sound like a lot, but it really isn't. Time flies quick as hell. You know, just even today and a few days ago, I've listened to like past music that I've like had emotions for, and I realized that, wow, everything just moves so fucking quickly. I only have around a year and a few months left till I graduate and I take my SPM, which is pretty mind blowing to think about. Because I remember just last year, I was listening to this music while being like really sad, a bit depressed. She really depressed. But that was just that was already a year and 4 months ago. And just maybe like 1.5, 2 years ago, I was playing Minecraft. I was I had all the time in the world, zero responsibility, but zero stress. I could do anything. I was just, you know, listening to music and playing games. But that's in the past already. I do not have time to waste anymore. I cannot keep doing this. I need to try my best. Alright. It's going to be a long process, but if I keep wasting the time, the chances, and everything now, I know that I'm definitely gonna regret it soon. Cause even though now I have everything, I have a house under my head, I have a roof under my head, I have food on the table, I have I can get the stuff I want. I'm really lucky to have good parents as well. But if I do not, if I waste this all in the future, I would have absolutely nothing. And I do not want that. I really do not want to fail my parents and let this stupid coach be right. So, to prove him wrong, 100 days. 100 days to do my best. Hopefully. So yeah, that's about it. I also, one thing I want to mention is I think I yap or talk too much about my past, which is what I just did a few a few minutes ago. And I talk about too much bad stuff, more negative things, approaching things more negatively, self-hate stuff to myself and maybe to my girlfriend as well. Maybe maybe I've said too much bad stuff about myself, which isn't really a good look. So I need to change that. I have to think positively instead of just always talking about how shit I was before this. And it's not going well because, you know, it's coming back, the repeated tragedy. So 100 days, it began 2 days ago, but then I'll say I'll I'll just need to do it. All right, that's all I have to say. Hopefully, me, okay, you. I wanna see you at least get C, and if you get B and A's, I would be happy. But I do not have a lot of faith in myself as for this moment. So that's all I'm aiming for. Alright? I wish you the best of luck, but luck is not what you need right now. What you need is motivation, which you can, you know, create yourself, and you have to lock in. Seriously. Alright? That's all I have to say. Good night and goodbye. Have a nice day.